So I was 18 when, I think I was 17 or 18 when my parents divorced. We were living in the country. I just finished boarding school. I went overseas. My brothers were still at school. My mother had moved back to the city. So my dad ended up on his own down in the country. And the three of us gravitated towards the city, towards the bright lights, towards mum, towards, we essentially left Dad. And I think Dad would have found that very difficult. But in black and white terms, you would think, well, three boys go to really live with their mother away from him. Geographically, that was probably the way it was always going to go, because three boys don't hang in the country. You end up in the city. It's where all the action is. And so that can be brought into stark contrast when then his situation is difficult. My father went and fought an enormously big corporate organisation to keep this quarry away from a historical town called Berrima in the Southern Highlands. Fought it for a decade, threw everything at it, ended up in the High Court. I think he lost. So my father ended up in a really tough spot at probably an age when maybe we were then also moving on to other things in our life. And it was just if I thought about it, divorce, kids growing up, kids going to the city, business, it was the perfect storm of things that essentially completely upended my father's identity, actually. He went from being a married father with a married father, landowner, businessman, battling good versus evil, to divorced, no kids, impacted financial situation on his own. So, having lost pretty much everything. So in that moment, who can blame him, really? But at the same time, with probably a history of drinking. So throw that in the mix, it'd be tough for anybody. And, we recognise these things, and I wrote I wrote a letter to my father 6 months ago and thanked him for everything that he gave to me in my life. And I know that he carried it with him for ever since. And it was with him when we cremated him. And I think when you can sit there and thank your father for the things that he's done in your life, then the rest of it's okay. And at least if they know that, and they can go to whichever we believe, whether it's the next life or whatever we do, if he knew that, I felt that was really important for him to understand. Which gives me it's been a very peaceful, calm time since my dad passed away, because I think of that. There's no guilt or regret about things I didn't say.